Welcome back to the Nuggets of Gold YouTube channel and podcast. So if you guys listened to the show yesterday, I talked about, this tackle room for the Lions, Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker, and how the biggest matchup was going to be if they could hold their own against Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, D Ford, and the 49ers, edge group. Also Samson Ebukam, another name there. But turns out Taylor Decker is not going to be playing. So the biggest matchup of the week, I think, for this game especially, the most marquee one, I guess, is Penei Sewell versus Nick Bosa. Now, I say it's like the marquee matchup because I think it's going to be pretty one-sided come Sunday. I think this is probably about as hard as not as hard as it's going to get, but I think Nick Bosa is one of those top tier edge rushers in the league, and he's going to be going against a rookie in Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell, I think, is going to struggle a lot. Now, I don't think this means like he's a bad player or anything like that, but we could easily see Nick Bosa come out here 2+ sack game, 2.5+ sack game. I mean, he looks a lot faster. All of his athletic measurables have gone up, and he is ready to go. And Penei Sewell has struggled so far in preseason. All the reports are, hey, this guy, and it makes sense. I'm not saying that this guy should be expected to be a bust or anything like that, but it makes sense that it's going to take a while for Penei Sewell. You got to remember, he did not play last season, and he's coming out of Oregon, so it's more about the traits than the film that he's put out, just in terms of not every week, but he does have weeks where he's playing really high competition, but it's also not like he's playing in the Big Ten or the SEC. He's not playing that type of line talent. So you're looking at Penei Sewell. There's probably going to be a larger learning curve than a lot other younger linemen. And this is not an easy way to start. Nick Bosa, like I said, I mean, we talked about him coming back, but before he came back, he had 9 sacks in his rookie year, and I don't think that does him justice in how good he was. I mean, he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. He was amazing. He was one of the biggest reasons for the 49ers Super Bowl. And then you talk about all these other guys that are also on this line, and now Penei Sewell is going to be that main guy. I forget who's playing on the other side for the Lions. I haven't seen that yet, but Penei Sewell is going to be on the island against Nick Bosa, and that is as tough as it gets right there. So I just briefly wanted to bring up that matchup because I think it's one where it's going to be big names and everything, two, premier picks. And I do think Penei Sewell, I think it'll take him a while, but I do think he'll figure it out. But the fact that he struggled this early in preseason at right tackle, especially, now he's being slated to block Jared Goff's, good side. That's another factor, is that Goff is, he's a statue quarterback. He's a guy that can't really move in the pocket. We've seen that when the 49ers have played him, they've got a lot of sacks and they've been able to generate a lot more pressure than, these other two quarterbacks in their division, in terms of Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, those type of guys. They can't really generate those sacks, and those guys are able to extend plays. Goff isn't that play extending type. It's going to be tough, because that makes it even tougher for Penei Sewell. So I expect him to struggle in this first game. Expect Nick Bosa to come out there and, kind of show us that, hey, he might be a guy that's in that conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. But that's what I'm expecting. And tomorrow, it's going to be me. Aiden's going to be back on the podcast, and Jason Aponte, who I had on a lot earlier this offseason, is also going to join the show. We're going to do 2 segments before the game on Sunday. So one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And then we'll talk about, the game recap and do all that early next week. So thank you all for listening. If you like my channel and you haven't subscribed, please do that. Really awesome. But that's going to do it for today. So thank you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.